So back in 2015, I was looking for my mom, and we had a meeting, and I couldn't find her. I went to her house, she wasn't home. I went to my grandmother's house, her mom's home, and she wasn't there. We stayed looking for her for 8 hours. It wasn't until after 8 hours she shows up, and she said she acted like nothing happened. And I said, "Where were you at?" We had a meeting, and she was like, "I didn't go anywhere far. I just went to the store." And I said, "No, you've been gone quite some time." And she says, "No, I was just gone for a little bit." And everyone had to tell her, "You've been gone for 8 hours." And then that's when I knew something was wrong.
My name is Ralph Morrissey. I'm president of the Fairmont Estates Neighborhood Association, Sections 1 and 2. FINA, as we call it, was formed in 2006, is listed with the city's neighborhood networks, and registered with Harris County. We have addressed
Does that make sense?
This is a public library.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna tell you right now, they rented the room. You wanna go to the public library? Go to the public library. This is a room they rented, which means they have the rights to it. That is very simple to follow.
So you're telling me I can't be here right now, even though it's a public
They
meeting?
want you to go, you have to leave this room. Okay?
¿Ves cómo me tratan? Otro día, eh? Okay, come on, Mom, let's go. They don't want us here. Let's go. They call the cops on us, so we don't listen to what they're saying, the lies about us. That's fine. It's okay.
No one's lying about
That's fine. All of them.
it. No one's lying about it.
Bye, Mom. We're sorry, Mom.
We have cops
Keep walking.
and all this other stuff.
Steven, keep walking.
All that. All because I'm trying to take care of a senior citizen. That's it. Sad. It's sad, you know?
Walking over here, and then I called him when I was in tears, and I called Ralph, the other guy, and they were like, "You need to call the police. You need to call," and I was like, "I don't really want to do that, but it's just the point that I can't even come out here or let my kids come out here without him." But see, they're like. A dad to me, like, and when it was happening, I called him. I was like, "Can you please come over here?"
Nobody's going to be fighting with him, but I'm telling you, if you curse out a councilman like that, you're crazy. I can't believe he got away with stalking him the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was there and nothing. There was no criminal, action taken. He has every right.
Mr. Caton has every right to walk in the neighborhood without being harassed.
Well, right, but at the same point that it's not harassment. He can walk there and say that he's saying stuff about him. It'd be the same thing as if, I mean, me and this
I
officer.
stand there and walk and follow you and curse you out?
You could, yeah. And now,
It's a public
at
sidewalk.
at
that
some
both
point,
parties are allowed to
if
be
you're
at.
cussing or whatever, nobody had made a claim that he was cussing or any foul language or any
Caton
threats.
told me he was.
Right, and that may have not been said, or maybe that was on another day. But that was the thing is when we got out there, no claims of that. If he is cussing and like somebody's out and hears it and it offends them, that's disorderly conduct.
I don't want to be involved in all this.
Right.
And I told him like.
Which is a little different than I don't want you on my
Okay,
property.
so I need to
So
be
if he
more,
comes
like-
back, tell him I don't want you on my property anymore. I'm not going to sign, like whatever. You can tell him like I'm not going to sign it. I don't want you back on my property
Yeah.
anymore. You're bothering me. You're being a nuisance. I don't want to do anything. Please stop.
Yeah.
And then from there, if you want to call us, we can do a criminal trespass warning.
Because from what
issue
I've
from
heard,
him.
he's gotten violent, like with people, like with the councilmen and stuff. And
There was no violence.
well, not violent, but he's been aggressive.
Like verbally aggressive.
Yeah, and to me, I don't.
Which
don't do
he's
that.
allowed to voice his opinion. He wasn't doing
Yeah,
anything
that's
wrong that day.
fine,
So
But
to tell you what,
being
I will.
home alone
Mhm.
as a.
I guess
Recording.
harassing one of your neighbors.
Okay, we'll go get those people and arrest them for making a false police call.
False police call.
Kevin, was I harassing you?
Oh no, it wasn't in relationship to them. It was
I wasn't harassing you.
okay. So here's
He's the only one I talked to.
Okay, here's the thing, man. Have you left a note on anyone's door or anything like that recently, or left a note with anybody?
I'm not answering any more questions.
Okay, all right. Well,
Man.
here's the thing, man. Is you have some neighbors that don't want you coming by the place anymore. So
I don't. Well, okay. How can I not go somewhere if I don't know who it is?
okay, so.
Oh, look. Literally where you're standing right here, next street over.
The next street over is Faircrest.
Yeah, no, it's
Whatever, two streets.
on 4806 Yellowstone.
Okay. I've never been told not to come down there.
Okay.
I've never been
Okay.
told anything like that.
Okay,
So if I have a problem with my neighbor, isn't it decent for me to say, hey, neighbor, don't do that anymore?
Right.
And if they don't hear me, then maybe I call the cops.
Right, and so I think that was the whole misunderstanding. There's no report, nothing criminal. So she just wanted us to let you know. She said she was a little weirded out by it. So she asked us if we could talk to you or look at you.
I'm asking you to go talk to her and let her know the decent thing is to say, hey neighbor, I appreciate it if you don't knock on my door anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. And we told her because she said that she had never really told you to not come back. She said you'd been there a couple times and talked to her about that.
Yep.
So, and that's the thing. So I explained to her, I said, if you've never told him, like, he probably thinks it's okay to keep coming back. So at this point, 4806, keep that in mind. She doesn't want you there. Okay?
That's fine.
Okay? Alrighty, man. Otherwise, try and have a good evening, okay?
All right, thank you.
Take care, man.
Y'all be safe, man.
Thank you. You too.
Recording.
Like I said, if he does come back, you need to actually tell him you do not want him here anymore or whatever. I told him that the residents at 4806 did not want him back on their property anymore. So he has been made aware of that, okay? Like I said, that is not a criminal trespass warning. If he comes back and he's here and you say, hey, please don't come back. We're not going to do anything. Just, you're not welcome back here anymore, okay? So we're going to kind of hang out in the area for a couple minutes. We do have a couple calls holding, but we're going to hang out in the area for a couple minutes. He's just out riding his bike, like I said. I know.
He's not riding his bike. What he does is he goes around to get signatures and harass people.
Well, I mean, he's riding his bike to go do
Yeah,
that.
I know.
So,
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So like I said, look, we're going to hang out for a couple minutes, but if he comes back, just
Yeah.
let us know, okay?
See, and like he's not even feeling good right now. He has to take a sit down, and I'm waiting. He's out here waiting until my husband gets home because he's, you know.
How much longer until your husband's expected to get home?
He's leaving HEB right now.
Okay, just the HEB up here on
Yes,
Fairmont?
sir.
Okay. Yeah, we'll probably be around just long enough for whatever, so.
I'm just, I just don't.
Do they still have to go down there and tell him?
No, that's what I'm saying. If he comes back to their property, I've already talked to him and told him the residents at 4806 Yellowstone do not want him back. If he comes back, then you need to tell him he is not welcome here.
Can my husband tell him?
Does your husband live here?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So if he comes back, that's not a violation since you told him?
Well, I mean, no, because that's what I'm saying. At this point, it wasn't a criminal trespass warning.
So he has to come back.
He has
and,
to
like,
come
try
back
to
and you
confront
tell
me,
him.
and then I have to call the
Go
police.
down there and tell him, don't come to my house again?
Well, I mean, the thing is that he's not home right now, so we would have to go track him down with them and go find him right now and be like, hey, don't come back. But because, like I said, you hadn't already told him not to be here, I am telling him as a partisan for you,
Okay.
don't come back. That's what I'm saying is that's on body camera.
Okay.
You tell him that, record it, whatever.
Okay.
That way, like, take out your phone and record, even if it's just an audio or get a video of you telling, like, video of him, you saying, hey, sir, we don't want you back here anymore.
I'm
No more.
struggling with the potential for conflict with them having to do that.
Do what?
I'm struggling with the potential for a physical conflict.
I mean, that I mean, I'm not going to say that there's not, but at the same point, you know, like we can't sit here and prevent future crime, right? We
No,
can't prevent
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
from
no,
maybe
I
doing
get it.
something stupid.
I just like I said, my worry is that he's
But
gonna.
that's not against the law, and that you've been notified by her to stay out of her yard. She doesn't want to tell you perfectly because she thinks you're crazy. She is.
Well, right. I mean, and I told him tonight that the residents do not want him back here. So that's why I'm saying if he comes back,
Okay.
then I'm telling you what your next steps need to be. Okay?
Okay. I guess like my thing is like, I don't want him to like come by and like he knows the law. Like trust me.
Oh yeah.
He knows
Mhm.
after a certain point what he
Yep.
can and can't do. I just don't want him to come and especially like now like
Yep.
if I was outside, like because we're outside all the time with the kids.
Yep.
And make some and like stir stuff up
Mhm.
with me and him while my husband's gone. But then if my husband comes home, he's not very temperamental, but when what this guy's doing is like a lot and it's becoming very like stressful on all of us. Like,
Right.
I mean, everybody, but nobody wants to really say anything.
Right. And unfortunately, until he does something that is criminal,
Yeah.
The other one.
we have less of a
Oh
of an
my
ordeal.
God, that's the other one.
so.
That's
Okay.
the other one that I have on camera that I told you I was talking
Okay.
to.
Okay.
And you asked if he was in my yard.
Okay. So, I mean, do
See,
you?
it's
Okay.
not.
What's his name?
Martin Ream.
What's his name?
R-E-I-M. Martin Ream.
Martin Ream. Okay.
He's helping him. He wants to get signatures. He's trying to like tell everybody the same thing. He's not, of course, he's in the whole white power thing because
Right.
I don't even think that he knows that guy has been saying that about,
Right.
people.
Okay.
Because I think if he knew that, he wouldn't be supportive.
Right.
But he's doing the same thing. Like,
Okay.
and he caught, like I said, I walked outside and
So you said his name's Martin?
Uh,
Martin? Okay. How are you? Are you Martin? Can I talk to you real quick? Hey man, are you going around helping somebody talk about like a deed restriction or something?
sir.
Okay. All right. Well, the residents at 4806 said that they don't want any more contact from y'all.
Okay.
So 4806 off limits.
Okay.
If you have any other neighbors telling you not to come back to their property, that's off limits. What y'all are doing, like that's what y'all want to do. You just need to make sure you're not doing anything illegal or criminal about it. But the residents at 4806 Yellowstone, this house right here, do not want y'all back on their
Should
property.
let me know. I mean, she was fine when I was talking.
Okay, so that's fine. So, but
And I know, I understand. I won't.
right.
I won't. I won't
So we're letting you know. It scared her a little bit and took her back. I mean, mom home with kids. She's a little.
I just live right around the corner.
Right.
Where it was.
So,
lived in
but-
the neighborhood in 1970.
I am letting you know for her.
Sure.
4806, no more. If we get any more calls, there'll probably be criminal trespass warnings issued against you
Sure.
and the other individual. Okay?
Hey, Becky, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to upset you or anything. I just want to let you know. I understand.
Yeah.
Well, he just insinuated that I was crossing the line, and I want to apologize. Sure, I understand. I'm so sorry. Steve came by.
Recording.
They're coming at me like I'll do something aggressive. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to her. I'm talking to Becky.
They don't know, like they don't know what's going on. So like when you come, anybody can knock on the door. But when you come and you knock, they get scared and they literally run and hide. And
I didn't know that. My apologies, Becky. I just went over there because Martin said that he had a good conversation with you, and it might be good if you wanted to continue that conversation. That's all.
yeah,
That's all.
You wrote a note and you said you knew you were a nuisance to her. So just stop.
No one's talking to you, man.
I'm
No one's
talking
talking
to
to you.
you.
No one's talking
Hey,
to you.
let them talk.
You're no one. Let them
You
handle
know
it.
like I said, when you were knocking, I got scared. And then I always call him whenever something like that because we're like family, this and that. I told you that before. I told you that they're like family to me.
And I just said right now, Becky, I didn't mean any harm.
Yeah.
No ill will, nothing.
nothing like that. I just wanted to have a conversation with our neighbor, and I was going to continue it on.
Yeah,
That's all.
I never said you were like, oh, you know, like, I never said that. I never said anything that you were aggressive or whatever. I just said, like, when I'm home alone with the kids, it scares me every single time somebody knocks at my door.
If I didn't want a neighbor knock on my door anymore, I'd go there and tell that neighbor, hey, please don't knock on my door anymore, and that's it.
You knocked on it like 8 times.
I'm talking to Becky again.
I don't care who you think you're talking to. You're in front of my house.
Hold on. Y'all need to have no
I
contact.
don't want any problems. I wasn't looking to
There's-
get you arrested or, you can ask them. I didn't ask them. I didn't file, like,
I was having an even conversation with our neighbors, and they pulled up on and the neighbors were like, oh, he must be a criminal, you know, and I was like,
You did curse out a council.
I never said that you.
But
You
I'm
can
saying-
ask them. I didn't file reports or nothing. I just told them.
hey, Becky, we're good, Becky.
Please go.
Hey, Becky, we're good, Becky.
You're upsetting her. Please go.
I'm on the sidewalk. What are you talking about?
Hey, honestly, dude.
Alan wants to inflame the situation.
Yeah, I know. He wants to inflame everything.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just let it go.
Okay. All right. Just y'all were aware. Like I said,
Yeah, we got it.
never wanted to make reports. She didn't say y'all were harassed. She said that it was becoming a little bit of a nuisance if y'all had come a couple times. So that's what she told us. I mean, we're not going to continue this, like I say. But he talked to her just fine, and he left, and she was just fine.
And I told Steve, hey, she might see. Oh,
Here's the thing, man. Sometimes people make it seem like it's some way, and then as soon as other people are around, they change what it is. So she could be talking to you fine, saying everything seems fine, and then go around and tell 3 other people that you were harassing her, you were bothering her.
You're right.
So
I stopped going over there, you know. It wasn't for our neighbor, the one that told me, hey man, I had a decent conversation with her. You might want to touch base with her again. I did so, you know. I said, okay, let me touch base with her. You know, that's all.
And I understand what you said, officer, that some people take it the wrong way. You know, I might not think that, but yes, you know, I might come across as
And I'm gonna leave right now, but when you depart with her, you can tell her. He seemed totally cordial. He seemed totally like he wasn't trying to startle you or anything like that. It's a misunderstanding. And
honestly, it's all it is, man.
Yeah.
It's all it is.
You know, just let her know. I wish her the best. And if I could move my house a little further away, I would. Okay. Just let her know. I did not know that she had those kind of feelings at all.
Yep. Okay. Everybody's aware. Like I said, no report, nothing criminal. Everybody's aware. Okay. Yeah. So y'all try and have a better evening.
All right.
Take care.
Appreciate you.
I was scared of, and that's what took.
You can't continually trespass on our property.
Well, here's the thing. Like my partner was just saying is, she's never physically said, "Hey, I do not want you here anymore." So the next time.
Can you guys go down and tell him that?
He just came out,
So
Alan.
here's the thing, sir. She has to tell him that. We can go talk to him, but until she tells him herself,
She put
"Hey,"
a note on his door because she doesn't want to confront the man.
next time he comes over here, she has to tell him. When she tells him, like, "Hey, I don't want you here on this property anymore," if he comes back,
She can't in writing send him a message to tell him to stop.
she's got to tell him face to face. Who knows that he'll ever get what is sent. So next time he comes over here, you tell him, "Don't come on my property anymore." You call us and tell us that he came on your property and that you don't want him here anymore. We will come out and criminal trespass him, and if he does come on the property on the next time, then we can arrest him.
We just want record of you guys coming out.
Yeah, we got
so
your
the
call for service number.
shows that we were out here. I'm Officer Nisselbeck. That's gonna be for you. It's not a report. It is just a call for service number. I'm gonna add some comments that will show that basically, like, if there's anything in regards to.
I just call him because he's like a dad to me. Like, and when it was happening, I called him. I was like, "Can you please come over here?"
Nobody's gonna be fighting with him. I'm telling you, people think if you curse out a councilman like that, you're afraid. I can't believe you got away with stalking him the way you did.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was there and nothing. There was no criminal, action taken. He has every right.
Mr. Case has every right to walk in the neighborhood without being harassed.
Well, right, but at the same point, that it's not harassment. He can walk there and say that he's saying stuff about him. It'd be the same thing as if, I mean, me and
I
this
can
officer.
stand there and walk and follow you and curse you out.
You could, yeah. And now
It's a public
at
sidewalk
at
that
some
both
point,
parties are allowed to
if
be
you're
at.
cussing or whatever, nobody had made a claim that he was cussing or any foul language or any
Dayton
threats.
told me it was, but
Right, and that may have not been said, or maybe that was on another day. But that was the thing is when we got out there, no claims of that. If he is cussing and like somebody's out and hears it and it offends them, that's disorderly conduct.
Well, the one good thing I have on video is council.
just yesterday, I got a call from my neighbor, Becky Coronado. She was crying and terrified. After leaving a note on her door just a few days ago, admitting he was being a nuisance by continually asking her to sign, Mr. Alvarez showed up again yesterday, knocking loudly and ringing her doorbell. It went on for 4 minutes. She is terrified of what he might do if she doesn't sign it. So are other neighbors. Mr. Alvarez has been to her house at least 8 times. He's been told multiple times that the Coronado family have no interest in signing this affidavit, yet he continues to harass her. He continued to verbally engage with her in front of the police while she was standing behind me crying on the back of my shirt. This harassment needs to stop.
What's wrong with you?
What's with you? Nothing wrong with me.
You come over here and tell me I gotta leave?
Yeah, man, you're too disruptive.
You're
You know who you are.
you're a coward, man. You know that? You're a real coward, man. Come at me like that. I'm over here sitting down doing what public services.
You heard him last time.
Heard what? Heard what? What rule did I break? What rule did I break? None.
You know better than that.
No better than what?
Breaking rules. You know
What rule did I break? I just asked you. You couldn't give me an answer. There's no rule, right? No rule, right?
You were disruptive.
What rule?
I told you that.
What rule?
Disruptive. Can't you hear?
How was I disruptive when I was called to speak?
You're interrupting everybody.
They called me to speak. How is that disruptive?
You wouldn't stop talking.
They called me to speak, so I was talking. Don't you understand?
See, you're being disruptive now.
Oh, man. What a coward.
You were sent a letter and you know the rules. If you can only speak on the agenda that we're talking about or anything throughout our community, like a happy birthday or any celebration throughout our community. It's in our rules and we must follow our rules. So if you have anything to say about the agenda, anything on the agenda, you may speak. You got 3 minutes. Go ahead.
As a church-going member, I was taught during church service that when you need help, you reach out to your public officials, your surrounding brothers and sisters of Christ, and you ask them for help. And what's going on in our community is my mom is suffering from dementia.
Many people have turned their back on her, but I didn't. I said, not me, I'll be there for you. And I work hard so I can feed my family, feed my children, make sure there's a roof over their head, and I can pay for this very expensive medication that I have to provide for my mom. I needed to make modifications to my home so I can do just that, take care of my children, take care of my mom, and give her the handicap amenities that she needs. I came to the city of Pasadena for permits. After 8 months evaluation of the drawings, they granted me those permits. Then I passed the inspections. I passed my inspections to help my mom. During this process, after being 90% complete of doing that modification to my home, we have people that come down here that have connections with the mayor, Phil Caden, and they try to stop me. They try to stop me from doing these modifications.
Mr. Alvarez.
This is what I'm talking about.
Mr. Alvarez,
I can't let y'all know what's
rules.
going on here because they want to block the
Officers,
truth.
please escort
They want
him
to block
out.
the truth. Here they're gonna violate my
You're out of
rights.
order, sir.
I need
You're out
help
of order.
with my mom. I already got the signatures from my neighbors.
You're out of
So I
order,
can
sir.
continue helping my mom from suffering from dementia. And this is what happens to you when you try to help somebody. This is what happens right here.
You're out of order, sir.
You're violating my rights on what grounds? On what grounds? Step on outside, sir. This is what I'm talking about. Why? I'm just trying to help out somebody.
Read the rules, sir. We follow the rules here in Pasadena, Texas. Okay, next, Joseph Thomas. Come up, sir.
We bring somebody to pray for what? What are they praying for? Y'all believe in God?
I was going to let everybody know, Mr. Alvarez, we're in courts, we have a courts session, hearing with him, and he's in violation of any of the courts when he comes here and speaks to us. When he overspoke his, calling out council member and overspeaking about what we're in the lawsuit with him is, he was told by the court he cannot do that. When he's ejected, he's ejected because he's violating that law. We don't care what he says, but he cannot violate any laws, and we can't allow that. So that's the reason why he had to be removed. So with that, this council meeting will be over. God bless you. Have a great week.
What's your take on the modification that I made to my home?
Well, I mean, the modification, like I shared in court that day, it's really nice. It's just as nice as some of the, and most all the two-story homes in this neighborhood. And also, it's nicer than some of the people that are protesting against what Steve has built. So, you know, it's painted. You can look for yourself and see that it's well kept up. It's for his mother. I've met his mom. Basically, the only thing that I've noticed she responds to when I tell her and talk about Jesus, who has saved us, saved everybody in the world. So she seems to respond to that, but other than that, she doesn't. And my understanding is that they have to feed her, and they have to really watch her. And that's what he built. The bottom section of that home is for his mom. Meeting her, and I can see why. And he's got safeguards downstairs for her. Upstairs is for a caregiver, and that would be for someone if he goes on vacation out of town. They could check and watch his mom. So,
Are the people that are complaining against me, do they have any deed violations themselves?
well, yeah. If you look back at the deed restrictions that we had in place, and you can look if you want to swing around. This is this carport. I live right there. My carport was against the deed restrictions. And one of the individuals that's protesting around the corner, she has a porte-cochere, which is really nice. I'd like to have it. but it was against the deed restrictions also at the time. So as far as that goes, you know, and then Steve put this up, and they're protesting. There's other people in the neighborhood with carports, and also I converted my garage too, and I think her garage is converted also around the corner. And there's a lot of conversions, which there's nothing wrong with them. They're nice and they're kept up.
So as we all left the neighborhood and I was deciding whether I was gonna participate with this other meeting, she walked down the neighborhood, and as she got to the end of the block where she makes a turn to her house, she told the neighbor that's decent to me, she told him that she lost all respect for him because he spoke up on my behalf. Was there anything said to you after a neighborhood meeting that just really upsetted you, that was being said to you by another neighbor?
Well, you know, we had a neighborhood meeting right over here in the park. Let me give a little review on the neighborhood meeting. The meeting was to discuss Steve's addition, also the upcoming deed restrictions. And so one of the things that we talked about was to have Steve's addition on the ballot, and the people in the neighborhood could say yes, it looks good, no, it's not. That was one of the conditions. Well, when it came around with the ballot, it wasn't put on, and so everything that was talked about over there did not happen. Now, I've had one of the neighborhood members, I'm not going to mention name, but tell me that the individual's lost all respect for me. I don't have a problem with that. I believe what I'm doing is right. I don't see anything wrong with Steve's addition just because someone else disagrees with it.
That are complaining against me, and you can see her carport and her garage are in violation of the deeds. But Ralph Morrissey didn't have one single problem with this, but he's got a problem with mine. She has a problem with mine, but yet she doesn't call herself out for what she's done to her house, and she's in violation with the deeds.